So, good evening everyone. Again, I have already been introduced. So, without much ado, I will start talking about the topic of the day. So, let me first start by introducing Acronis for those of you who aren't aware about Acronis and would like to know more. So, this is basically the credential of the organization. Uh, we are headquartered, global headquarters is in Singapore. It's our international headquarters. We were founded in Singapore in 2003 and we were reincorporated in Schaffhausen, Switzerland in 2008. Needless to say, we are a global company. So in India, we work under the aegis of Acronis India Limited. So when I speak to here, I'm basically talking as Acronis India Private Limited, right? So if you look at the credentials of Acronis, we have about 2,000 employees in 45 countries around the world. We have products localized in about 26 languages. Just in 2023, we stopped about 195 million threats through our global cyber protection operations centers and our agent installed around the world. I think that's pretty much more action than most of the blockbuster films. We are also a channel centric organization. So while we are purpose built for MSPs and IT departments, our main focus is being an MSP first organization, because we believe that MSPs or service providers are the one who are closest to the end customers. So our product is basically designed keeping the channel in mind, the service provider in mind, and that is why we work around the world with about 20,000 service providers. Through these channel providers, we currently have 750,000 customers around the world, and we are also very heavy on respecting and complying with local regulations. So that is why we have 54 data centers around the world. In India, we have a data center in Mumbai, in Navi Mumbai, and also have another one in Chennai. So the Mumbai one is exclusive Acronis, and the one in Chennai is a partnership with Azure. So we basically have 2 data centers in India. So moving on, before I show you the next slide, I would like to kind of talk about the fact that when I talk about Acronis Cyber Protect, this term Cyber Protect is very interesting. I would like to share, for the next 10 seconds, a very interesting fact about cyber protection. So this word cyber protection is used now interchangeably with cyber security. So cyber security or cyber protection. But not many people actually would know that this word actually, cyber protection, was coined by Acronis. So when we coined this word around 7 years back, the reason we coined it is because it was an integration of data protection and cyber security. So we called it as cyber protection. And with this, I would like to say that it gives me immense proud to say that now we hear more and more organizations and more, industry actually moving towards that integration approach, where they are moving away from best of breed product to best of suite product. But Acronis actually here is one of the pioneers, I would say arguably the pioneer, which started this integration revolution in cyber security. So I think being in the cybersecurity industry, most of you are veterans, so I don't really need to go through and explain this slide to you. I think before me, my predecessor from Sonic Wall also talked about the fact that the world has changed. The attack surface is no longer how it used to be some years back. It has moved out of perimeter. Now the entire world is actually the attack surface. People are working from consumer grade routers, they are accessing corporate workloads, they are accessing cloud workloads, the data is going through open internet, then there is hybrid cloud, mix of on-prem, and cloud. So all of this basically means that the entire digital landscape has become the attack surface. At any juncture here, one successful attack can basically cause a lot of impact. So when you have such a big attack surface, what logically happened is that because of this, the attacks also became more and more sophisticated. Okay, so now we are talking about exploit prevention, fileless attack, PowerShell being abused, right? So with with this kind of a reality where we are today, one would expect that the focus would actually be on making sure that there is a cyber resilient infrastructure that every company has. But unfortunately, more than managing the infrastructure, keeping it secure, the challenge is that managing the tools itself has become, complex than managing cybersecurity. We were talking about alert fatigue, and I think many of you who are CISOs and CIOs here would, if I would ask you to just kind of voice out how many security tools you have deployed in your organization, I could get a number ranging from 10 to 50, right? So just managing the amount of tools responsible for cybersecurity is one of the biggest problem. Okay, and that is why it is very important that one should have an integrated approach to managing cybersecurity, and that is where Acronis comes in the picture. So our USP, before I go into the actual product, our USP is integration. Now, why I say integration is because it is not a commercial bundle. It is not different agents packed into one commercial offering and given as as an integrated console. When I say integration, it basically means a product which is built from ground up with the different pieces talking to each other. So when I say different pieces talking to each other, I am talking about the backup piece talking to cybersecurity talking to remote monitoring and management, so that you can achieve better protection. And with that, I would like to show you in one slide what Acronis actually means. If you would like to take away one slide from my presentation today, I would really request you to take away this slide. So as you can see, this is basically Acronis. It's basically an integration of data protection, cybersecurity, and RMM or operations. So when I say backup, it typically that's the gold standard that Acronis was known for when we were founded in 2003. You can back up any type of workload to any destination. It could be on-prem, it could be cloud. We also have backup for Microsoft 365, which is basically the powerhouse when we talk about email mailboxes. You can back up Exchange Online, SharePoint, OneDrive, and then you can also back up databases like SAP, HANA, Oracle, and all of this. Apart from backup, we also have disaster recovery, under cyber protection. We'll just give the gentleman 2 minutes to settle down. Yeah. Moving on from data protection, we come to cyber security. So under cyber security, in the same integrated panel, we have EDR, XDR, MDR, and DLP. So EDR is basically endpoint detection and response. It is basically your security office across the endpoints, which can correlate any event across different endpoints and being able to detect and respond to that event. We heavily used AI in the solution, and when I say we heavily used AI, I think the biggest use of AI would be to simplify our lives. So at a very high level, what I can tell you is that if you are using Acronis EDR, you can basically type natural English language commands, and you can even say to the tool that I would like to create a script to harden against a particular ransomware that you want to harden your infrastructure on, and within seconds you would get the script, which you can deploy remotely across multiple endpoints, and you can see that hardening in action within 10 seconds. So that is the power of AI that we have deployed in our EDR solution. And when you go beyond EDR and want to get the aggregation around identity, access management, email, then the solution you are looking for is XDR. So we have Acronis Security plus XDR in the same solution. And if you would like Acronis to manage this entire security for you 24/7, then you can also have Acronis manage detection and response. For insider threats, or for basically ensuring that you protect sensitive data from going out from the organization, we have content aware data loss prevention solution, which is the DLP. And then you also have SaaS, which has email security, which is basically security for your cloud mailboxes as well as on-prem. So you can protect M365, Google Workspace with a 7-layer protection engine, which not only stops phishing, spoofing, but also protects you from against advanced persistent threat, right? And then the third part of the solution is remote monitoring and management. So under remote monitoring and management, you have solutions like remote desktop. So you don't need to go out of the solution. You don't need to use any other solution like TeamViewer or AnyDesk. You have RDP within the solution. You have IT asset management. So you have software inventory, hardware inventory. From a single dashboard, you can view the entire IT infrastructure of the organization. You can deploy any software. So an integration of all these three in one ribbon, data protection, cybersecurity and operations, is basically what Acronis Cyber Protect Cloud stands for, right? And I've been using the word integration, so I would like to kind of spend a little time explaining that in more detail. But the first advantage of integration is the fact that Acronis perhaps is arguably one of the few companies, there might be others, but one of the few companies globally which actually provide you protection across all the pillars, all the 6 pillars of NIST framework. So right from governance, which you can achieve using a single dashboard, reporting multi-location, to identifying proactively the sources of threat, to protecting from those sources of threat, and in case of a threat, detecting it, recovering from it, and being able to do an analysis of it across all the 6 pillars of NIST. Acronis is compliant, as you can see. If any one of you would like to have a drill down on this, we have a booth outside, we'll be happy to kind of share more details. But in the interest of time, I'll just touch on things high level. Now, I talked about integration a number of times. So what are the benefit of integrations? I would just quickly take 2 minutes and talk about that. So here you can see that this is the actual console portal that we have. As this is a snapshot of the portal. As you can see here, you can set up one single policy for backup, security and RMM. So you can set up what to backup, where to backup. You can include antivirus, anti-malware protection, URL filtering, vulnerability assessment, patch management in one single policy. So how this helps you, there are so many scenarios that this talking between backup and cybersecurity helps you. I would like to focus on just a couple of points to make you understand how integration is so important. So let's look at safe endpoint recovery. So basically, if you are recovering an image from cloud or physical cluster, then during the recovery process itself, that image is basically patched with the latest antivirus definition, so that by the time the image spins up, it's already up to date. So even if the image is dated, it wouldn't spin up until all the patches are applied. So that is basically safe endpoint recovery. Now why it is so unique is because this is basically backup and security talking to each other. So a backup is being done, but security patches are already being applied to it while this is happening. So it can only, this kind of a synergy can only happen if you have an integration between the product, right? The opposite of that is true. So many a times patches go rogue. As CIO, CISOs, you would know that when you update patches, many of time they go rogue. So if you have updated a patch which has gone rogue, you already have a snapshot before the patch was applied, which you can use to roll back to the previous state. So these are all the unique scenarios which only an integration can achieve, and we would be happy to spend more time and talk about integration, if you want to dwell deeper into this. On backup, we have a solution to provide you near zero RPO. So typically for your critical workloads or for senior management, you would like to have zero RPO. So you can have continuous data protection, using which you can define applications, you can define files for which you have near zero RPO. The data is continuously backed up. For example, if you want to back up Microsoft Office, Excel, or you want to back up an application, you can use continuous data protection and it will provide you 0 RPO, right? I talked about safe recovery, so in the interest of time, I will just quickly skip through it. So this is the extended detection and response, the EDR. This is the actual snapshot from an EDR incident. You can basically see from where the incident started, how were the privileges escalated, how many endpoints were impacted, what was the action that the solution took. All of this is automated. So for most of the times when you have a security breach, you will basically get an incident in your mailbox which would detail out the security breach and the action that the solution took. Okay. I think I am out of time, so I will just quickly wrap up by saying that the power of integration really helps you get better protection. And if you would like to know more about this, we are outside, our team is here, we are about 5 people here, so we'll be more than happy to kind of discuss this in more detail with you. Thank you.